To share this planet harmoniously with the rest of the natural world, we need to live sustainably. How do we do this? Well, here's the Human Planet Earth Pathway to Sustainable Living. A basic framework is already there. We need to achieve the UN Sustainable Development Goals, their SDGs, by 2030. But that's not enough. Focusing on each SDG separately will have them competing against each other, making some much harder to achieve than others, and perhaps some, the environmental ones, not at all. So we need to make sure that in achieving the SDGs we stay within planetary boundaries, the safe operating limits of the planet. The SDGs within PB's approach sets out 5 smart actions to return the planet to within its safe operating limits. They enable groups of SDGs to be worked on together to ensure that development is holistic and mutually supportive. The donut helps to make clear how these elements are related. To achieve the necessary social and economic development which so much of the planet so desperately needs, we need to ensure our footprint stays within the safe operating limits of the planet, its planetary boundaries. And where we already exceed this limit, we need to get back inside the safe space, quickly. Our environmental catastrophe has been unequally caused, and its mitigation must be unequally shared in return. So the implausibly destructive impact of the richest 10% or so of humanity must be replaced by the huge potential for positive action which their wealth embodies. We need them to become less like Croesus and more like Socrates. And the richest 50% or so of the planet must also learn to shape their lives and measure their worth not by consumption, but by well-being and life satisfaction. The poorest among us must be helped to prosper and grow, but only in ways which are sustainable and regenerative, which means governments must predicate success not on ever-rising GDP, but on ever greater levels of happiness. When you next vote, ask yourself who the bees would vote for. What tools can we use to do all this? The circular economy, designing out waste and pollution, keeping products and materials in use, and regenerating natural systems. Using indices like the Happy Planet Index rather than GDP to see how we're doing. Measuring ourselves by well-being and life satisfaction, not consumption and growth. Working towards a steady-state economy, where population and growth are flat, but the quality of our lives still grows. An end to debt-based money creation, which drives useless, ever-rising consumption to pay off debt. Decoupling and degrowth for the already wealthy countries to cut out the adverse impact of growth elsewhere. Regeneration so that all we take from nature is replaced and renewed. Rewilding and reforestation to let nature breathe once more. Science, technology and invention to drive our move to a carbon zero and zero pollution world. Green cities so that we bring nature back into our urban lives to cut our footprint still further. A sustainable living ration book to set consumption parameters for every one of us on the planet to live sustainably. More for those with not enough, less for those with too much. And, perhaps the most important thing of all, the knowledge that we are simply a part of nature, not its master. A desire to live a life where we're content to share and care for all this marvellous world can give. Humanity's footprint is overlarge for the planet we live in and on. It needs to return to a size and impact which sits comfortably within the planet, so that human planet Earth is a badge not of extinction and death, but of pride.